Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be demonstrating how to identify a left to right scapula. And in order to determine a left from right scapula, you need to begin by looking at the features anteriorly and the posterior features. So right now we're looking at a left scapula in an anterior view, and we have the glenoid process right here. And the coronoid process is right on this end, and if we turn it and look at it in a posterior view, we have a view of the spine, which turns into the chromion. And then in the posterior aspect, we have the infraspinosus fossa and the supraspinosus fossa. In order to distinguish a left from right scapula, a humerus needs to be able to articulate inside. So a left humerus will be able to articulate inside of the glenoid fossa. So we are looking at a humerus in an anterior view. So to begin with, this is proximal articular head, and we have the greater tubercle here and the lesser tubercle here. And about 1/3 down on the lateral side, we have the deltoid tuberosity. And if we keep going down on the lateral side, we have the lateral epicondyle. On the medial side, we have a medial epicondyle. And this is the capitulum right here, and then we have the trochlea right over here. And in this case, we know that it's part of the right side of the body. We know it's the right humerus because the capitulum is on the right side. So if we were to have a humerus and the capitulum was on the left side, it would be a left humerus. Okay, so we're looking at the ulna in an anterior view in standard anatomical position. The radius is on the lateral side of the elbow. It connects to the thumb side of the wrist. The ulna is on the inside or medial side of the forearm closest to the body. Okay, so we are looking at the radius in a posterior/dorsal view. In the proximal end, we have the head of the radius, and then we have the radial notch. And on the distal end, we have the styloid process of the radius. Okay, so looking at the ulna in an anterior or ventral view, we have the oligochrome process, which is right here, the trochlear notch right inside here, and on the distal end we have the head of the ulna and the styloid process of the ulna. Okay, so the following bone that we're going to take a look at is the left hand in a dorsal aspect. So there are 3 basic bones that make up our hand. So the first bones include the phalanges, which is our fingers. We have the distal phalange, middle phalange, proximal phalange. Distal, middle, proximal. However, our thumb only has a distal and a proximal phalange. The next set of bones include the metacarpals. So we have our first metacarpal, second metacarpal, third metacarpal, fourth metacarpal, fifth metacarpal. First metacarpal starts with your thumb, and fifth metacarpal ends with your pinky. Okay, now the following bones that we're going to look at is the 8 small bones that make up the carpal bones, aka your wrist. So there are 8 bones that are arranged into 2 rows of 4 bones each. There's a proximal row right here, and there's a distal row, which is right here. A mnemonic device that we utilize to remember these bones is some levers try positions that they can't handle. So in the proximal row, starting on the radial side, working yourself to the ulnar side, we have sum, which is scaphoid. Levers is lunates, tri is triquetrum, and pisiform is positions. So sum, levers, tri, positions. In order to be able to look at the pisiform, you have to turn your hand and look at it in a ventral aspect just because the triquetral bone covers the pisiform bone. So we're going to turn it back in a dorsal view, and we're going to start with our distal row. So we got the sum, levers, tri, positions. Now we're at that. That is trapezium right here. They is trapezoid. Cant is capitate. And handle is hamate. So this includes all the bones of the hand.